see my screen? Right. So last class, we were discussing some terms related to spherical mirrors. What were they? So what were the terms that we discussed? We saw what is a pole, what is center of curvature, what is radius of curvature, principal axis, principal focus, and the focal length of a spherical lens. So we saw all these terms with respect to what? With respect to a concave mirror. Okay. So make a note. All the points are similar. WRT means with respect to, okay. All the points are similar with respect to convex mirror as well. Okay, this is a point which we need to make a note of. Clear, guys? No. Now we are going to see another concept called as ray diagrams for spherical mirrors. So before we see what a ray diagram for a spherical mirror means, we need to understand the rules for it. Rules to draw ray diagrams for a spherical mirror. Okay, first. So before that, can someone tell me what does a ray diagram mean? What exactly do you mean by ray diagram?
Sir, the ray which it is a diagram in which the rays are indicated from the object to the mirror, sir.
Object to the
Mirror. Spherical mirror.
Okay. What is the object? What is the use of drawing these kind of diagrams? What are they going to
Sir,
tell us?
Sir, it tells where the image is formed, sir, of the
Perfect.
object.
Perfect. Perfect. That is the right answer. So ray diagrams basically help us to understand or locate the position of image, the nature of the image, and other parameters. Okay. So we are going to see what are all the rules to draw the ray diagrams for spherical mirror. Okay. First, let's get started. If a ray is considered parallel to the principal axis, that is, if a ray is considered parallel to the principal axis, means if an incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, how do you think the reflection will take place? The reflected ray will pass through which point? The reflected ray will pass through
Pole, sir.
no. So last class I gave you a definition. So what does a principal focus mean? It is a point on the principal axis where the image of an object at infinity is formed. What do you mean by the object at infinity? Means the incident rays will be parallel to the principal axis. So whenever you take a ray parallel to the principal axis, the image is formed at which point? Principal focus. Guys, am I clear or not? Is there any confusion? Now I'm going to draw this diagram for a concave as well as a convex mirror. Okay. As I told you in the previous class, you need to ensure that the reflecting surfaces are always in the left side direction. So this is the principal axis. Let me call this as pole. And this is the pole. Okay. So this is a concave and this is a convex. Observe carefully, okay? So if I take a ray parallel to the principal axis, okay, if I take a ray parallel to the principal axis, at this point, what is the name of this point, guys? It's called as the point of incidence, right? So if the center of curvature is here, what will happen? We need to draw a normal. So when you draw the normal, what is this angle called as?
Angle of incidence.
Very good. It's called as the angle of incidence. So according to the laws of reflection, for any kind of a mirror, the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection.
Angle
right?
of reflection.
Yes. So when you take the reflected ray exactly making the same angle I, then you can locate that the image is formed at a point on the principal axis called as the focus. This is where the definition of focus came from, if you guys are able to recollect what it means. Similarly, with respect to a convex mirror, observe what is going to happen. If I take a ray parallel to the principal axis, then the center of curvature is going to be here. So from the center of curvature, we need to draw a line which is joining the point of incidence. When you do that, this angle will be the angle of incidence. Okay, this ray will get reflected in this path in such a way that this is going to be the reflected ray and it will reflect back at the same angle I. Okay, so is there a possibility that this reflected ray is going to meet the principal axis? Like how this reflected ray in the case of a concave mirror met the principal axis at a point called as focus. Is there a possibility for the reflected ray with respect to a convex mirror to meet the principal axis? The answer is no. Right. So when that is the case, you just try to elongate it in the backward direction and it meets at this particular point. And this point is what we call it as the principal focus. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is with respect to a concave mirror, you will have a real image at focus. Here you will have a virtual image at focus. So I'll give you 1 minute time to copy this diagram. In the meanwhile, if there is any doubt, please get it clarified. Done, guys? Second, object placed.
Sir, can you show once more, sir?
Yeah, please write it. Copy it. Let me know once you're done. Done? Durlabh done?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So object placed at focus. Then the image will be formed at, even I don't know. We'll draw and see. Okay. So if I take this as the pole, okay, and if the focus is here and the center of curvature is here. So actually, let me do a small correction. Ray passing through focus, after reflection will be, that's what we need to find. So if I take a ray passing through the focus, okay, what is this point, guys? This is the point of incidence. So at the point of incidence, what are we supposed to do? Draw a normal. So this is the normal. Okay. Now, this ray, if this is going to be the angle of incidence, okay, you take this ray to be at any angle of incidence, you can always observe that the reflected ray will be parallel to the principal axis. Okay. Whatever is the angle means, I'm trying to say that this is also going to be the angle of incidence. So ray passing through focus after reflection will be parallel to the principal axis. So what I'm trying to say here is it is exactly the reverse point of what we have seen in the first. The first, what did we say? If you take any ray which is parallel to the principal axis, after reflection will pass through the focus. Here it is a vice versa. Okay. So listen to this. So for a convex mirror, the focus will be here, the center of curvature will be here, right? So what will happen is here, the ray can't actually pass through the focus. It will appear to pass through the focus. Are you guys able to understand? So if it is appearing to pass through the focus, at the point of incidence, it is our duty to draw a normal. See, all these things I'm explaining will not be in the textbook, guys. They will not draw normal and all. They would have given you the points. You will not understand what is the reason. So ensure you're copying it along with me. So if this is taken as the angle of incidence, after reflection, it will pass parallel to the principal axis. Is that clear, guys? So this is also parallel to PA. PA stands for principal axis. So tell me one thing, is there any doubt till whatever we discussed?
No doubt, sir.
Very good. Okay. So please copy it and let me know once you're done. Done? Next.
Yes.
Now,
Sir, can you show once more, sir?
yeah, write it down.
Yes, sir.
See, I generally suggest to take a screenshot, but for this chapter, don't do it. Because this chapter, the importance is you draw the diagrams and experience it, okay? It seems as if you have understood, but when it comes to exam, you might fail. Fail in the sense you might not be able to draw. That is what I'm trying to say. Okay. So ensure you're drawing it in your notes.
Sir, over, sir.
Over? Good.
Yes,
So
sir.
the next step that are there on the principal axis. You have center of curvature and the pole. Now we will see what will happen if the ray is passing through the center of curvature. Ray through center of curvature after reflection. What will happen to it? Anybody? Let's see what will happen. So if a ray is passing through center of curvature, what is going to happen? So if I take the principal axis in this way, and here also if I take the principal axis in this way, if this is the pole, if this is the pole here, so when a ray is passing through the center of curvature, okay, it is going to go and hit the mirror, let's say at some point at this. So what do we generally do at the point of incidence? We draw the normal. Last class itself, I told you with respect to a spherical mirror, for you to draw the normal, you just need to join the center of curvature and the point of incidence. So what is happening here, guys? So what is an important point you're able to observe? You're able to see that incident ray is equal to normal in this scenario. If incident ray is equal to normal, what is the angle of incidence equal to?
0.
Very good. That implies the angle of reflection is also 0. So what will happen to the reflected ray? The reflected ray starts retracing its path. Okay. In a similar way, here the center of curvature will be there. Obviously, you can't pass it through the center of curvature. So it is only going to appear as if it is going to pass through. Means when it is directed towards that point, this mirror is going to act like an obstacle. And the same story is going to happen here also. So what we are going to say is completing the statement. After reflection will retrace its path. Done, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fourth point is, so what is the fourth point that is left out? So what is the other point that is left out, guys? Ray incident at pole. After reflection, let's see what will happen. if I take this point as P, if I take this point also as P, so when a ray is hitting the pole, then at the point of incidence, what are we supposed to do? You need to draw a normal, right? So in this case, the normal will be the principal axis itself. So if this is the angle of incidence, what will be the angle of reflection? The angle of reflection will also be the same. Means the reflected ray will be symmetric with respect to principal axis. So same is the case here also. If I take this, then this angle of incidence, then this will be the reflected ray, and the angle of incidence, reflected ray will have the same angle of incidence. After reflection will pass symmetric with respect to principal axis. Here, guys?
Yes, sir.
Make a note of it.
Sir, can you scroll a little up, sir?
Okay. Is this okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shall I pass on? Shall I move to the next topic?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, I will show you how to draw the ray diagrams for the spherical mirrors. First, we will see for concave. Remember, concave mirror has 6 ray diagrams, and convex mirror has only 2 diagrams. Okay, totally we are going to learn 8 ray diagrams along with the nature of the image. We are going to locate the nature of the image. We are going to see the position of the image and its magnification. Okay, so before that, I want you all to make an important point. Without proof, see, actually there is a proof for this which you learn in your 12th standard, but for 10th it is not needed. Without proof, I can say for thin spherical mirrors, radius of curvature is equal to 2 times focal length. Okay, radius of curvature is equal to 2 times focal length, and the formula is R is equal to 2F. It is applicable only for thin spherical mirrors. What is that thin also? You will see it in your 12th standard. As of now, you can make a note that R is equal to 2F. So what I'm trying to say is, the focal point is exactly the center of the pole and the center of curvature. So when you take any kind of a mirror, spherical mirror, you have a pole, you have focus, and you have the center of curvature. Focus is the midpoint of pole and the center of curvature. Okay. So keeping all these points in mind, let's start the ray diagrams. So as I told you, first we are going to see the image formation by a concave mirror. Please make a note. Concave mirror is also technically called as converging mirror. So you guys know what is the meaning of converging? So converging means something which is coming close. I'll show you an example. If two rays are like this, they are said to be converging. If two rays are like this, they are said to be diverging. Okay. So this is converging and this is diverging. Now what we are going to see is, we are going to see the different locations at which the object is going to be placed and the places where the image is going to be formed. Okay. Now listen to this carefully. Write down the heading as image or images formed by concave mirrors. Okay, images formed by concave mirrors. So first is when the object is placed at infinity. What will happen when the object is placed at infinity? Let's see. So by now you should be able to tell me the answer. Where is the image formed? So infinity means if I take a ray parallel to the principal axis, after reflection will pass through the focus. If I take an other ray parallel to the principal axis below it, then this ray will also pass through the focus. So the minimum number of rays required to locate the image of an object is 2, and we have taken the 2 rays and we got the location of the image. Where is it formed? So object location. Object location. Where is it? At infinity. Okay. Image location. Where is it? At focal point. Focal point, or I can say focus. Okay. Then what is the next thing? Nature of image. What will you say the nature of image? Is it real or virtual?
Sir, real, sir.
It is real because those two reflected rays are meeting in a real time. That is why they are real. It's a real image. Nature of image is real. Then size of image is what? What is the size of image? It is highly diminished. Okay. So let me tell you the way the questions will be asked. See, if they tell you to find the location of image when the object is placed at infinity, yes, you can do it. But if the question is in the reverse way, the object is kept at such a location in front of a concave mirror where a highly diminished image is formed. So what point would it be? So where is the object placed? They can ask you a one mark question like this. I repeat it. An object is placed in front of a concave mirror in such a way that the size of the image formed is highly diminished. So where is the object placed, guys?
At infinity.
At infinity. So you should always have the reverse analysis also. Don't go in a straight manner, go in the reverse also. Okay. If you're clear with this, shall I move on to the next one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Second is beyond the point C, that is the center of curvature. If I take this point as P, if I take this as F and this as C, let me say there is an object placed at this point whose height is AB. Okay, is it not beyond C? So what I will do is I will take, how many rays do we need? We need 2 rays to locate the image location, locate the image. So I will take one of the rays parallel to the principal axis. After reflection, will pass through the focus. Will pass through the focus. Students, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Good.
sir.
So, if I take an other ray through the center of curvature, okay, so if I take a ray through the center of curvature, then it will retrace its path. In a similar way, if I take a ray hitting the pole, after reflection will travel back symmetric, right? Similarly, if I take a ray through the focus, after reflection, it will pass parallel to the principal axis. See, second, third, and fourth. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is, you need not draw these many rays in the exam. Whichever rule out of the 4 rules that I gave you, if you use any of them, you will be able to locate the nature of the image. You will be able to locate the position of the image. So the position of the image is, let me call the name of the image as A dash B dash. Where are you able to see the location of the image?
Sir, between focus and center of curvature.
That's right. Between F and C, right? Nature and size. If you observe, object location on the image location is between F and C. Nature, real. What about the size? It is diminished. So try to understand, guys. It is diminished. It is not highly diminished. Okay. So highly diminished means it's a point-sized image. Diminished means it has a finite size. Means if this size is h and this size is h dash is less than h is what is the meaning of diminished. Am I clear? Okay. So to make it more simple, what I will do is I'll show you the textbook part. Listen to this. So when the object is located beyond C, see what they have done is the first incident ray is taken parallel to the principal axis. Second is taken through the center of curvature and they've located the image. Okay. I've taken all the 4 so that you will understand whichever point you take, the answer will be the same. Clear, students? Now you guys tell me what will be the third location. If you observe, no, from the point infinity, we are actually moving close to the mirror. So you have seen beyond C. What will be the next place where you can place
At
the
C.
object? Yes, you
At
can
C,
place
sir.
it at C. Yes, you can place it at C. So that is why you're getting 6 ray diagrams. So let's see what will happen when you place the object at C. If this is the point P, if this is F and this is C, when you place it at C, what will happen? You take a ray parallel to the principal axis. After reflection will pass through the focus. Okay, to differentiate, I'm taking another color. If I take a ray hitting the pole, it'll reflect back symmetrically. So what will happen is the image will also be formed at C only. Okay, so in this case, the object location is what? At C. What is the image location? It is also at C only. Okay, next. What is going to be the nature? It is real. What is going to be the size, guys? Can someone tell me?
Sir, same size, sir.
Where it is same size. Because same location, it is going to be of the same size. Done? Now you guys tell me, where should be the next location be?
Between center of curvature and focus.
Yes. Between F and C. What will happen? Let's see. If I take the point P here, F is student. Sorry, I had some power cut here and the Wi-Fi got lost. Connection got lost. So till where was I audible?
So you had just started
Between F and C, or yeah, this one I started, no? So what I'm trying to say is, yeah. So when you place the object between F and C, if you take one of the rays parallel to the principal axis, the reflected ray will be passing through the focus. The other ray, if you take it to hit at the pole, then it will pass symmetric with respect to the principal axis. So both of these rays will meet at a point beyond C. Okay. So what is the object location? Obviously between F and C. Where is the image formed? It is formed
Beyond
beyond
center of curvature.
center of curvature. Then nature. It is a real image. What about the size? It is
Sir, magnified.
very good. It is magnified. It is not highly magnified, it is magnified. That's it. So what is the meaning of magnified? The size of the image is greater than the size of the object. Or I can say it is more than the size of the object. Right? So one important point I wanted to stress is, this is a common mistake again people do. If you take A on the principal axis and B at the point at the tip of the arrow mark, then A dash should be taken on the x-axis and B dash should be taken at the tip of the arrow mark. Most of them, what they do, they write this as B dash and A dash. That is wrong. There's no wrong. So please be careful in the way I'm writing, okay? Because if you look at the textbook, they have taken it in the reverse order. So you should not get confused. So please make a clear note of that point. If you're clear with this, I'll move on to the next thing. Now you guys tell me, where should be the next point?
At F.
At F. Let's see what will happen at F. If you take a point, if you take the object at F, so what will happen? Can someone tell me how to draw the ray diagrams? So one thing that we can do is, wait. See, look at the ray diagram for this. No, this is slightly a tricky one. One ray, I will take it through the center of curvature. If I take it through the center of curvature, then the ray after reflection will pass through the same point, right? Then I will take one of the rays hitting the pole, then this will also pass in this way. So what I'm trying to say is, this reflected ray and this reflected ray are parallel to each other. So where will parallel rays obviously meet? From the basics of mathematics, where do parallel rays meet? They meet at
Infinity.
they meet at infinity. So when the object is at F, the image is formed at infinity. What is the nature? What is the nature, guys?
Sir, real.
It is real because they're tending to meet on the same set. Then what about the size? It is highly magnified. Okay, it is a highly magnified image. So the next question is, where are you going to place the object next? Between F and that is between the pole and the focus. Okay. Before that, I want to tell you one important point here. I just want to focus on one important point. So what was I hope you guys would have drawn it in your notes. Look at your notes and tell me what is the first ray diagram that we drew? Where was the object placed? When the object was placed at infinity, where was the image formed? Focus. Similarly, the fifth point is at focus. Where is the image formed?
At infinity.
At infinity. Is it not like a reverse rule?
Yes, sir.
Right. Similarly, what is the second one? When the object was placed beyond C, the image was formed between F and C. Now, what about when that is the fourth condition, fourth diagram. When the object was placed between F and C, where was the image formed?
Beyond C.
Beyond. It is just the reverse of it. Okay. So if you remember one thing, no, it is exactly the reverse. Like you can have a guess of what would happen if the image and the objects are swapped. Okay. Similarly, the third one is when it is placed at the center of curvature, it is obviously formed at the center of curvature. So that doesn't have any counterpart. So the sixth one is also an independent one. So sixth one is also an independent one. When it is placed between F and C, what will happen? That's what we need to check. Let's see. If I place it at the focus, okay. If an object is placed here, you guys tell me what will happen. If this is the center of curvature, I'm going to take one of the rays which is hitting the tip of the topmost point, and the ray will pass back through the center of curvature. Similarly, if the ray is hitting the pole, what would happen? It will reflect back like this. Now, unlike the previous case, what will happen here is the reflected rays will not be parallel to each other. Rather, they will start getting diverged. If they are getting diverged, is there a possibility for this reflected ray and this one to meet anywhere in a real-time scenario?
No, sir.
Obviously, they can't. So only way to locate the image is extrapolate it in the.
Sir, for the second ray, sir, you took the ray towards the pole, sir. Sir, can we take
Yeah.
like parallel, sir, which will pass through the focus?
You cannot take it because, see, if the object is going to be, suppose you're standing in front of the mirror. So let's say this object is you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
If you take a ray parallel to the principal axis, then what are you trying to say? That the ray is passing through your body and going now. You can actually take it, but on a more realistic scenario, it is better to take from the pole. Even if you take it through the focus, it is going to be the same thing. There is going to be no difference.
Okay, sir.
Okay, just I thought it is an opaque object, and then that is the reason I didn't take it. Now, if you see the ray diagram that I have drawn, the rays are independent. They are not passing through a body, rather they are passing either from the tip of the body or away from the body.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
that's good. Yes. So this is where the image is formed. And this point will be A dash and B dash. Okay. So here one important point to be noted is, till now you see for a concave lens, it always formed a real image. But this is the only scenario where the image formed is virtual. Okay, this is the only place where the image formed is virtual. So this is the object location. Images. What will you write for the image? It is formed behind the mirror. So if you write the statement behind the mirror, then obviously there is no question of center of curvature, focus, or pole. Okay. Similarly, where what is the nature is? Nature is virtual, and actually I forgot to tell this. Wait. Virtual and erect. And what about the size? It is magnified. Okay. So I just wanted to state one important point here. Please make a note of this. Okay. Real images, I repeat, real images with respect to a mirror are always inverted. So by default, if you say the image formed is real, it is an inverted image. No change in that. Whereas a virtual image is always erect. You know what is the meaning of erect, right? Erect is upright. So the image is also having the arrow mark in the upward direction. Sorry, the object is also having arrow mark in upward direction, and image is also having the arrow mark in the upward direction. So they are upright. That upright is a technical, erect is a technical name given to that upright object and the image. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Please make a note of this. Okay. I'll go to the next concept. That is, images formed due to convex lenses. So how many ray diagrams did I say? There will be two possibilities. And the reason is very simple, because the reflecting surface is on the left-hand side. Right. So with respect to a concave mirror, you had an advantage of keeping the object at center of curvature, between center of curvature, pole, and all those things. Okay, between F and C, between F and P, at F, at C, at like these, you had options, right? Whereas with respect to a convex mirror, all the 3 points, that is the pole, center of curvature, and the focus, all lie on the right-hand side. So with respect to a convex mirror, there are only two possibilities. One is you place the object at infinity, and the other is you place the object in front of the mirror. That's it. Like how I wrote the answer for the image location in this case. No, I told it is behind the mirror. If I ask you behind the mirror at focus, or center of curvature, you'll not have an answer because there is no focus or center of curvature lying behind the mirror. Right? In a similar way, with respect to a convex mirror, what is going to happen is you will either place the object at infinity or just in front of the mirror. So now we know the logic. When the object is placed at infinity, where is the image formed? This I have already drawn, guys.
At focus.
When I explained the radar art, it is formed at focus. So what is going to be the nature? Nature is,
Virtual image.
it is virtual because it is formed behind the mirror. It is virtual and erect. See, by default, though it is a point, you can see it's an erect image. Okay, virtual and erect. And what about the size?
Highly
It is highly diminished. Whereas when you place it in front of the mirror, what will happen? Let's try to draw and see. For a convex mirror, when you place the object in front of the mirror, pole, focus, and center of curvature. Okay, let's say I'm placing the object here. Let me call it as AB. I'll take a slightly. So when the ray is hitting the surface, what will happen? It will get reflected back so that the image is located at this point. Similarly, when it is hitting the pole, what will happen? It will get reflected back in this way. Right? So this reflected ray and this reflected ray obviously cannot meet because they are getting diverged away from each other. Hence, you try to extrapolate it in the backward direction. This will be the location of the image. So what is the point? A dash, B dash. So what can you say, guys? How can you tell me the location of image?
between pole and focus, sir.
Between F and C. Sorry, F and P. Correct. What is the nature? It is
Virtual and erect.
Correct. What about the size?
Diminished.
Diminished. So an important point to be concluded from here is convex mirror can only form a virtual image. Okay. So convex mirror is the only mirror which can form a virtual and diminished image. So you can ask me a question, sir. You mean to say that concave mirror doesn't form a virtual image? I didn't say that. So concave mirror also forms a virtual image, but what is the nature? What is the size of the virtual image? It is magnified. So in a real-time basis, if you want a diminished size of an object, what kind of a mirror are you diminished size, virtual and direct object? What kind of a mirror are you supposed to use?
Sir, can you repeat again?
I'm saying if you want a diminished virtual image, what kind of a mirror are you supposed to use?
Convex.
You should always use a convex
Sir,
mirror.
convex mirror.
Yes, convex. Okay, so that is the meaning. So that is why, based on these natures only, these mirrors have certain applications associated with them. What are they? Let's see. What are the uses of convex mirrors? So convex mirrors are commonly used as rear view mirrors in vehicles. These mirrors are fitted on the sides of the vehicle, enabling the driver to see what? The traffic behind them. For example, you are going in a car. Let's say your father is driving. They look into the rear view mirror. What will happen? When a bus is coming from the back, will they be able to see the whole size of the bus or only some part of the bus? If you have not observed it, observe it next time. Okay, if you're sitting in the front seat, you can see on the left-hand side as well. You try to look at the objects which are coming at the back. Bus is generally of a very big size, right? But when it comes to the mirror, you can see the whole size of the bus in it. And why is it happening? Because they're using convex mirrors there, where it has the property of forming a virtual and erect image. If you see, the bus is not upside down. If the bus is coming towards you, you will be able to see like the bus is actually coming towards you only. You don't see it upside down. right? So it is a virtual image because virtual images only can be erect in nature. So you have a virtual and direct image at the same time, it is diminished. Okay, so this is the reason why a convex mirror is used to enable the safe driving process. And the reason is obviously given because concave mirrors are always preferred because they always give erect, though diminished image. Also, they have a wider field of view as they are curved outwards. Thus, convex mirror enable the driver to view much larger area than would be possible with a plane mirror. That is the reason why they don't use a plane mirror, because plane mirror also forms a virtual image of the same size. But convex mirror, because it is curved, it is going to have a much wider view. Clear, guys? So these
Yes,
are the
sir.
uses of convex mirror. Similarly, there are some uses of concave mirrors also. Concave mirrors are generally used in torches, searchlights, and vehicle headlight to give powerful parallel beams of light. They are often used as shaving mirrors also. If you go to hotels and all, you can see some shaving mirrors that they use. When you try to go close to them, right, you can see that your face is highly magnified. Shaving mirrors to see larger image of the face. Okay. Similarly, the dentists use concave mirrors to see larger images of the teeth of patients. So large concave mirrors are used to concentrate sunlight to produce heat in solar furnaces. So generally what happens is, sun is at infinity, right? So when sun is at infinity, that is the object is at infinity, where will the image be formed? It is going to be formed at the focus, right? So when you try to place this large size concave mirrors in front of sunlight, all the light and heat will get captured at the focus, as a result of which they can produce heat in the solar furnaces. Okay, so these are the applications of concave mirrors because of their real nature. Similarly, convex mirrors, because of their property of forming virtual images, they have different kinds of applications. I hope you guys have understood this, right? So this is all about the ray diagrams of spherical mirrors. Next is we are going to see the sign convention and mirror formula. Then we'll see how to solve problems. After that, we'll go to refraction. So with that, reflection will be over with mirror formula. Then the next topic that we have is refraction. That is also simple only, not a big deal. Okay. Any other doubt, guys, from today's class?
No doubt, sir.
That's good. Okay,
No
no
doubt, sir.
doubt, we can wind up. I'll see you all in that. That's good. So keep practicing and let me know if there's any doubt. Okay. I'll see you all in the next class.
Sir. Thank you, sir.